It was January, 3 months before I got the sinus infection I have now, that I went to the New York Opera to find the fan of the opera, Eric, see how he uses a Punjab lasso, and see E. Puritani dressed as
There has been a murder here.
And I think I saw a ghost or was a cosplayer. I'm not sure. Anyway, before the opera, I ended up walking the Upper East Side and or Upper West Side, and found the Dakota, the famous Dakota building that had been there since the 1800s. That ties into the literary source and the production history of it being the exact place where Rosemary's Baby was filmed in 1967. And here we are, Rosemary's Baby, a cataclysmic electric shock to the consciousness of America that jumpstarted horror, courtesy of Roman Polanski and Paramount head Bob Evans, who had produced Chinatown and Godfather. Wanted Polanski to do Downhill Racer, so he flew him out to California, let him stay at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Polanski had jet lag, so he started reading the Galleys version of Ira Levin's book, Rosemary's Baby, not even published yet, the Galleys version. He just cut off ties with Martin Ranchov, who had helped him produce The Fearless Vampire Killers. But Martin, while discovering Sharon Tate, Polanski's soulmate and future wife, MGM had butchered the Fearless Vampire Killers, and he was upset, and so he's lying low. And it's at this time as he's deciding that Manson escapes from prison or gets out of prison on parole, and William Castle, the king of schlock, the king of House on Haunted Hill, the Tingler, 13 Ghosts, decides, I want to go legit.
I'm Frederick Lauren, and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
So William Castle mortgages his house to get the rights to Rosemary's Baby. He wants to go legit, and he realizes that Bob Evans is not going to let him direct it, but he'll let him produce it with the help of Roman Polanski, who's coming off, again, The Fearless Vampire Killers, Knife in the Water. He's a Polish survivor of the Holocaust that knows his share of horror, and he jumps into the June 1967 to fall 1967 production of Rosemary's Baby at the Dakota with John Cassavetes, who was, again, becoming the godfather of independent filmmaking as we know today. Him and Polanski would clash constantly. I think these are some of their lighter moments together, but they literally almost got into a fist fight and had to be pulled apart by some of the cast and crew. But again, Polanski dove into this adaptation, heart and soul, in a way that horror movies have never been done. Very modern and realistic, with the modern angst of post-Watergate in Vietnam or wherever, all that bullshit of the 60s and 70s that was making people terrified, and the start of the 70s is coming very soon. And so he really tapped into the existential woes and horror of us getting out of the age of Frankenstein and Dracula. And again, Polanski really, made Mia Farrow come to life as the wife of Frank Sinatra. Now, old Blue Eyes did not want her to be in Rosemary's Baby. He wanted her to be in The Detective. So he said, if you don't leave that to be in Rosemary's Baby, I'm going to divorce you, baby. So he sends his lawyer, Jilly, whatever his name is, to divorce her. She's crying, and that's when Polanski says, I'm going to show you the rough cut. Mia Farrow comes out of the rough cut, screaming so happy. And again, then they filmed this going across, Broadway. And here I tried to do the same thing without a permit or crew, and was almost hit. So, again, the Rosemary's Baby is an incredible work of film. You could see the real Dakota here as it is today, as it was then when they filmed in 1967. And nothing really has much changed. It's a very gothic landmark, said to be haunted. It just really screams evil, especially when you're around it. And the more you know about horror history or life history, you know that this is where John Lennon was assassinated, right outside the Dakota in 1980. And again, there's lots of weird gargoyles and just, pagan-looking weird shit going on here, man. It really made me feel weird. And again, then you see the garden then, the real-life garden then. And, Lauren Bacall would visit the set. They had the makeup in the basement. And Lauren Bacall was one of many people who had faith in the film, said it was going to be a hit, and she was right. And eventually, again, come 1968, Rosemary's Baby premiered in June 1968, the same weekend as The Detective, and it destroyed The Detective at the movie theaters. and the cult classic was born. And of course, there's a big mythology about it, the curse of it, being as how Sharon Tate was killed by Manson, and, Mary Farrow's career went up and down, and blah, 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 blah. But it is a classic, and again, that's all I know.